Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Michael Ryan. For those of you who watched my last video, yes, I am doing the Walk of Shame and wearing the same goofy outfit as last time. But I have a very good reason for that. There was a snowstorm where I live, so I decided to make the most of my snow day and use this extra time to work on these videos and shoot them back to back. I mean, work smart, not hard, right? Anyways, in this video, as promised, I'll be introducing 3 brand new forge forms of the record type. But before I do, I wanted to make an announcement and do something I haven't done in a while. And that is throw a fan art contest for forge forms. In this contest, you'll be able to draw and submit your own forge form design of a real Pokemon, a Mycomon, or even one of your own Fakemon. So please get creative with it, have fun, and I'll be featuring your designs in my Instagram stories and here in my YouTube videos. I'll even be selecting one as a winner to introduce in the Firen region. Just know that there are a few rules and restrictions for the contest. Most importantly, the forge forms you submit have to fit at least one of the 4 weapon types, being the Slasher type, the Wrecker type, the Defender type, or the Piercer type. If you're unfamiliar with these weapon types, please go back and watch some of my previous videos. In other words, no modern weapons like guns, as this mechanic is mostly inspired by weapons found throughout Viking history, or weapons found around that time, and Norse mythology. Also nothing like whips or nunchucks that don't clearly fit one of these weapon types. No first stage Pokemon, as only fully evolved Pokemon will be receiving forge forms. No starter Pokemon, only the native Firen starters and Kanto starters will be receiving forge forms. I know a lot of you will complain about Kanto starters getting all the love, but it's only because the Kanto starters have gotten a new form for all of the previously introduced mechanics, like Mega Evolution and Gigantamax. Therefore, I feel it's a must to follow that trend and give them new forms for all of my new mechanics, as I think that's something Game Freak would do, and will continue to do moving forward. No fossil Pokemon, as there are no dinosaur fossils found in Iceland, which the Firen region is primarily inspired by. And I want most of the Pokemon to receive forge forms to be ones that make as much sense living in the Firen region's climate and culture as possible. Plus, I'm also doing something different with the Firen region's fossils. And no legendary Pokemon, as I'm already doing a handful of those as I teased in my last video, and don't want any overlap. And the last one isn't necessarily a requirement, but please don't do any forge forms for any obvious choices like Haxorus, as I don't want to get 100 submissions of the same Pokemon, and more importantly, I want to see you get creative with it and use your imagination. All the endless possibilities is part of what makes this mechanic so fun. I know I've really enjoyed creating a lot of the forge form weapons so far, and I'm sure a lot of you will have just as much fun creating your own. Also, the winner I select will only be of a real Pokemon, so please keep that in mind for your submission, but don't let that stop you from being creative and having fun with it. When sharing your design, please make sure to tag me on Instagram at Mycomon_regions and using the hashtag ForgeForms so I can see it. Anyways, I hope you guys have fun with this contest and I cannot wait to see your submissions. In this video, as promised, I'll be introducing 3 brand new forge forms of the Wrecker type, so let's take a look at those right now. One of the Hoenn region's pseudo-legendaries, Metagross's forge form, is a Hammer and a Wrecker type. I know I already gave Metagross a rebirth form in the Luika region, but this decision was less about me playing favorites, and more about me looking through each generation and which Pokemon I thought made most sense to receive forge forms. The idea for a Metagross-inspired forge form just made a lot of sense to me, as there is plenty of potential there based off its abstract design alone. I'm also trying to balance Pokemon types throughout all these weapons, so they all see representation in many of the forge form weapon types. So out of all the Psychic-type Pokemon to exist, this is one of the ones that made the most sense for me to tackle. The design is pretty straightforward, with Metagross's arms being the head of the hammer, but it also incorporates its claws into the design, which could be used for grappling purposes. And being a Psychic type, I could just imagine it using its Psychic powers to telekinetically position its foes right where it wants them before smashing them. Next, we have Golurk from the Unova region's forge form. This hammer is a rocket hammer as a reference to Golurk's rocket-like function featured in the anime. This feature is also why Golurk can learn the HM Fly in the games. I always found this to be very cool and figured Golurk's ancient golem-like design fit the Firen region nicely and would offer a unique Wrecker weapon for the ghost typing, which is admittably one of my favorite typings. Golurk's infamous and large fists make the head of the hammer, with its back bursting out flames like a rocket, providing extra firepower behind its mechanized punches. I can even imagine the trainer flying around the battlefield, holding onto the hammer, allowing them to avoid attacks from below or even attack from above. This is actually one of my favorite forge forms so far, at least of the Wrecker type. This last forge form is of one of my own Luika Pokemon, Tortempo, the drum turtle Pokemon. I needed some normal type representation amongst the forge forms, but obviously the normal typing designs aren't typically exciting. However, most sound-based moves and Pokemon already share the normal typing. So in the Luika region, I made use of that by having a lot of normal types as the sound type to give them their own niche. I did this because I personally am not a fan of fan types. I'm sorry to say that, but I think the type matchups are already confusing enough as is, and I find most new fan types to be unnecessary. For example, the light typing. Electric, steel, and fairy type moves already cover what would be light type attacks, with moves such as Dazzling Gleam and Flash Cannon. The psychic typing already covers cosmic or space mons like Deoxys, as well as moves like Cosmic Power or Hyperspace Hole, and once again, most sound type moves like Sing, Boomburst, Screech, Round are all normal typing moves already. Even Pokemon like Loudred, Chatot, Jigglypuff, and Miloetta. Anyways, I digress. Tortempo's drum shell is the head of the hammer, which when making impact would create powerful sound waves, especially as its ability on this forge form is its signature hidden ability, Drum Solo, which makes all sound type attacks physical, such as the devastating Boomburst. So this hammer would really pack a punch, and I was excited to make a forge form for one of my Luika Pokemon. While the first, it will definitely not be the last. And I was really excited to make a forge form for one of my Luika Pokemon alongside the other returning Pokemon. While this is the first, it certainly won't be the last. Please know there are plenty more record types to come in the future, but I'm curious to know which of these record types or any of those previously introduced so far is your favorite of these forge forms. Maybe one of them will even be your signature weapon in the Fearin region. In next week's video, I'll be introducing even more Fearin Pokemon you'd find early on in your journey, including the region's classic cat and dog Pokemon, which I know a lot of you have been asking about. These two lines in particular are two of my all-time favorites, not only of the Fearin region, but of my Micomon thus far, so I can't wait to share them and their evolutions with you. And if you want to get the full Fearin experience, please make sure to follow me on my Instagram account at Micomon_regions as well to see the stats, movesets, hidden abilities, sprites, and the shinies for all of the Fearin Pokemon that I've shown so far and all the others to come in the future. Okay, I really couldn't do this hat anymore, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video and these record forge forms. If you did, please drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. I can't wait to look over those. Please make sure to hit the like button, the notification bell, and subscribe to my channel for more content. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys then. Or once again, you'll see me then. I don't know why I say that. This is very itchy. I need to take this off now. Oh, crap. I probably should record the next one, though, while I got the time. Yeah, I'm gonna record the next one.